All right, solar crew, welcome back. Just want to say happy winter solstice tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Us solar crazy peeps finally start getting more sunshine. I've been doing some voltage checks and maintenance checks on my IFLA, and we did a good charge on it and a good rest and a voltage check, and seems to be cooking along real nice. Today we're going to talk about metering and shunts. I'm just going to go over these basic $17 Amazon shunts and how they work. And for the most part, all the shunts wire up pretty much the same. So, as you can see on my battery shunt, I did a drawdown last night. I ran about 400 watts through this for probably 20 hours, 18 or so, and took 7.7 kilowatt hours out of the battery. And then we turn the solar back on and we're juicing it back up. But we're going to talk about these little meters. Pretty simple. It looks busy in there, but again, when you look at it one at a time, it's not. It's only 4 wires that go to these guys here. And one of them, you can see there's 3 of them in there. One of them goes to the red. So there's only 3 wires that go into the shunt that they give you, and it's directional. It's only going to measure one way, either in or out, depending on what you want to measure. Um, the solar and the battery, I have set up metering what's coming into the bus bars, and I learned the hard way on the AC side that you need to reverse your wiring scheme for that because you're metering the power going out of the bus bars. So to give a little look at what these look like in real life, we're going to go in the garage and look at how this metering is done on a wire by wire, one at a time basis, and try to make it a little simpler. So, be right back. All right, so we're inside, and I have the Larry trailer mocked up with just the battery and the solar. And I don't have the shunt wired in yet, but I have it laid out there. But we're going to look at what just the battery shunt will look like going into the battery. All right. And like I said earlier, the shunt always goes on the black wire. Now what I did is I bolted that shunt onto there and onto there. Okay. And then, as I showed you before, there's 4 wires. One goes to the red. The other 3 go to 1, 2, and 3, or 1, 2, and 3. And they all feed into that. And it's directional. So this will monitor what the battery's pushing this way is how I want to wire that. All right. And like I said, I just bolted those right on the bus bars. It worked really good. Just like that. Boom. On there. And then take the wire from here and just put it out here. And that kind of does the trick. And it's the exact same thing on the solar. If we want it to monitor the solar, that shunt would go on there, and then this wire would come out to there. And then the 3 wires come into here, and the 1 to red. Is what that shunt does. And it just meters the flow of the electricity that we did in the last video. It meters it one way. So you have to make sure you're wiring it right to meter the way you want to meter it. Right, so then that one would go to the solar. And then the AC would get a little tricky because the AC we're metering in, and if we put an inverter up here, right, then we want to meter that power going out and not in. So the wiring is the opposite when you're feeding it into the shunt screen. So that's what a shunt is. They're really easy to hook up. Looks like a lot of wires. It's only 3, and it's literally giving you the lugs for the 3, and then 1 to the red. And the fancier Bluetooth, all that stuff, for the most part, is going to wire up exactly like this. It's going to look a lot different. But for the most part, the wiring part of it should be very similar. So that's a solar shunt. I want to thank everybody for following the channel. I've gotten a lot of great feedback, and everybody seems to love it. So it kind of grew into something I wasn't expecting. So thanks for everybody following along, and hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we're going to do solar panels and chargers and voltages is coming next. So have a great holiday, everybody. Bye-bye.